Gotham, Season 1, Episode 9, entitled Harvey Dent. And I felt the need to review and talk about this episode because I feel like the appearance of Harvey Dent was highly anticipated and very much promoted beforehand, so how could I miss this? Before I get into it though, I want to mention that I have been sort of back and forth on this series on whether or not I like it. But the last two episodes that, ironically enough, I didn't get a chance to review, but they've been really good. I feel like the last two episodes have sort of stepped up with a lot of what's going on and pushing the story forward. Like finding out that the Penguin was working with Falcone, I thought was cool. It was a nice twist. Is it a little contrived to think that the Penguin had the foresight to think, alright, not only will Gordon spare my life, but then I would be able to leave the city, get my life back together, come back to Gotham, infiltrate Maroni's gang, gain their trust, and then also spy for Falcone. It's highly unbelievable that he was able to think of all that. Sure. And when I think more about it, Fish Mooney, she started off in the series as this really smart and dangerous type of boss, but I feel like now she's kind of dumb. I mean, I liked finding out her motivation and how when she was a kid all that happened to her mom, so she wants revenge on Falcone. Fine, I'm all for that. But the fact that she has her girl going in and spying on Falcone, and she now knows that Falcone hasn't slept with her, hasn't done anything with her, and she sits there and thinks, that's weird. It's almost as if Falcone knows something. I wonder what it is. Couldn't be that Falcone knows what you're doing. No. Now, all of a sudden, Fish Mooney is an idiot. But getting into this episode, we see Gordon bringing Selina Kyle to his house, and he finds Barbara's note. Because Barbara indeed left at the end of the last episode. And as much as I didn't understand why she was leaving, as much as I haven't liked her as a character at all, I said good. Good riddance. Leave. Because Barbara has annoyed me so much, not only throughout the series, but the last episode especially, when she was supposed to leave for her protection. And then when Gordon and Bullock were rounding everything up and getting everything ready to go after Falcone, what does she do? She comes back to try to plead for his life, and she gets kidnapped by Zaz and almost killed. How annoying is this character? So when she left, good. I couldn't understand why Gordon was so upset by this and why he even called her later to tell her that he loved her. It's like, what do you love about her? That she's attractive? Because honestly, there's nothing else that's redeemable about her. I found it very interesting that Gordon's idea was to have Selina live with Bruce in his mansion, Bruce Wayne's mansion. And sure, it's temporary, but still, I mean, the scene when Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne meet face-to-face for the first time on this series, I thought was pretty iconic in a lot of ways. I mean, these are two very big, important characters who will mean a lot to each other later in life. So seeing them meet as kids, I thought was fascinating. Their interaction throughout the episode, even when Selina sort of didn't want to talk about her family. And then later on, she talked about her mom and how she's an actress and how she does this and that and she makes money. And it's almost like, I don't know if she's lying to say that in front of somebody like Bruce or if she just tells herself that to make herself feel better. I still don't really know the story about her mom. She claims she's not an orphan. I don't know. I found it funny that she asked Bruce if he's ever kissed a girl, and she was kind of almost asking for it, like, let's go, I'm sure some people are going to see this interaction and think, oh my god, how can you have Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle interact this much, almost be friends, before they're ever Batman and Catwoman? I get that, but look, and I'm having this trouble too watching this show, and I'm trying to remind myself that this is very different. This isn't like anything else I've ever seen as far as these characters, the Batman mythology. They're doing something completely different. They're doing their own thing. It's not very much different at all as to what Smallville was like. Smallville changed everything as far as Clark Kent and growing up and following him. It was new territory, so they had to do different things and spice it up. So I have to remind myself that that's what they're doing here. It's harder for me because I'm such a Batman fan and I'm such a purist that when I see things that aren't how I know, I freak out. But you know what? I'm willing to go along with it, especially because I didn't mind these two kid actors together. I even liked seeing Alfred train Bruce Wayne. The whole bit and side plot with Bruce being bullied by Thomas Elliot I thought was interesting. And the fact that Bruce wanted to sort of conquer that and be strong. I'm curious to see where it goes. I also don't know if Selina is telling the truth about that sketch, about seeing the murderer's face. I don't know if she's lying or if she's just saying that to get out of the charges against her. Who really knows? Her character is not predictable. I should mention Harvey Dent, the big triumphant debut of Harvey Dent, who the very first scene that we see him in, he is flipping his coin. What do you know? That did not take long at all. And I know in some ways they're almost shoving that in your face about Harvey Dent and the whole coin thing and him having a split personality. But I guess I have to think about if you're a casual fan who maybe somehow if you don't know who Harvey Dent is, I guess they had to sort of make it in your face. Him flipping the coin though, sure, it's like how he was in Dark Knight, right? The problem here though is that he let the kid decide which side of the coin to pick. So the kid picked heads. And of course it lands on head because it's a two-sided coin. Now, look, this doesn't work because what if the kid said tails? I know Harvey told Gordon, oh, it just so happens that teenagers always pick heads. Really? Always? You mean you've never done this with a kid and he's never picked tails? Ever? It would have made more sense if he said to the kid, look, if it lands on heads, then you go free. If it lands on tails, then I put you in jail. He had to set the terms. Because letting the kid decide, I know, it's minute, it's something small that bothered me because it really just didn't make any sense. Later on, we see Harvey sort of freak out on this guy who he thinks is behind the Wayne murders. And I thought this was way too early to introduce his psycho side. It just kind of comes out of nowhere and he's just yelling and angry and he grabs the guy and he's crazy and you're like, okay, obviously this is his Two-Face side. But I'm like, wow, this is the first episode that we introduced this guy in and we're already establishing that he's going to be Two-Face. It's like, we really couldn't wait for that? Really? And I don't know, I like the actor. I've seen him in a few things beforehand. So it's not like I minded the actor. It's one of those things where I do resist him being so much older than Bruce, but again, like I said, they're doing what they're doing. It's different. Keep reminding myself that. One scene that I did enjoy though, I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would, was the Edward Nygma scene. When he sort of just snuck up behind Bullock. It was like, do you play video games? Just so random and so creepy. And him sort of going off about how much he loves games, that they're a challenge, they're like puzzles. I don't know. It's nothing really too different than what they've already done with the character. I guess now I'm just used to him. I'm used to him being weird and quirky, that he's kind of growing on me. So there you go. As far as the main plot of the episode goes, I didn't really care a whole lot about it. This guy who was in Blackgate prison, he could create bombs, so this Russian gang broke him out and tried to use him to steal money. Yada yada. I really couldn't care less about it. The only thing really about it that I found interesting was that at the end, the mayor took him and a bunch of other mentally ill prisoners and brought them all to Arkham. So Arkham Asylum is officially open. So that's very cool. It's very cool that now we have an Arkham Asylum present on the show. Also, we got a little bit of the Penguin doing his own schemes. He went to Fish Mooney's girl's, Liza's house. And Liza, you know, I'm still trying to figure out why Penguin did this. I mean, sure, now he knows what Fish Mooney was doing with this girl. Fine. But what was his plan by breaking into her house and saying, look, I know what you're doing. And, okay, I can't prove it, but I'm going to keep your secret. The catch is you have to keep doing what you're doing. And don't tell anybody. Okay. What was the point of that? Sure, it's probably leading to something with him. But it's just, I thought it was weird. Even though it was worth it to see the Penguin because he is the best part of the show. The very last shot was, like I said, Gordon called Barbara and yada yada. And then we see that Barbara is with Montoya. Wow. So, not only did Barbara up and leave, pretty much for no reason, but she left and she's now cheating on Gordon. Am I supposed to like Barbara at all? Am I supposed to sympathize with her? Am I supposed to care about her at all? And Montoya, wow, way to redeem her as a character. So now she's sleeping with a woman who's engaged with the only honest man in the city. It's almost pathetic on how good some of the writing is on the show with the whole crime stuff. And then you get to the whole relationship stuff and the Barbara and Montoya stuff. It's bottom of the barrel. This is bad. Anyways, guys, I did enjoy the episode overall. I know it sounds like I'm bashing it, but I don't know. Little things here and there. I don't think I'm ever going to like Barbara as a character, ever. I'm never going to get into this love triangle. In fact, Gordon being so in love with her and putting up with her bullshit is making me dislike him and saying, dude, what the hell are you doing? Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you saw this episode too. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!